In the heart of Buddhist philosophy lies a word that seems both simple and overwhelming: dukkha. Often translated as suffering, dukkha is much more than physical pain or emotional distress. It is a cornerstone of the Buddha's teachings, a lens through which we understand the human condition, and a guidepost on the path to awakening. To understand dukkha is to begin to understand ourselves, and ultimately, to transcend suffering itself. The Buddha's first sermon, the Dhammacakkappavana Sutta, introduced what would become known as the Four Noble Truths. The very first of these truths is the existence of dukkha. According to the Buddha, life is marked by dukkha. This is not a pessimistic worldview, but a realistic one. It doesn't deny the joy or beauty in life, but acknowledges that impermanence, dissatisfaction, and change are inescapable. Dukkha manifests in many forms. There is obvious dukkha: pain, illness, death, loss, grief, fear. But there is also subtle dukkha: the anxiety beneath pleasure, the stress of clinging to what we love, the tension of resisting what we dislike. Even moments of happiness can carry the seeds of dukkha because we know they are temporary. A delicious meal ends. A warm embrace is brief. A loved one departs. All things change. And with change comes a kind of existential friction. This friction is not just a feature of individual experiences, but of the way we relate to experience itself. The Buddha taught that dukkha arises from attachment, clinging to pleasure, identity, success, permanence. When we resist what is or chase what isn't, we create suffering. This is why dukkha is not only about what happens to us, but how we respond to it. The recognition of dukkha is not meant to induce despair, but to inspire clarity. In understanding that dukkha is an intrinsic part of existence, we begin to let go of illusions that keep us trapped. The search for permanent happiness in impermanent things becomes less urgent. We learn to observe emotions and experiences without grasping or pushing away. We learn to meet life with acceptance, wisdom, and compassion. Mindfulness, meditation, and ethical living are central practices in the Buddhist path precisely because they help us face dukkha directly. Through mindfulness, we see our reactions and patterns clearly. Through meditation, we create space between stimulus and response. Through ethics, we align our actions with values that reduce harm and cultivate peace. Understanding dukkha also deepens our empathy. When we realize that everyone is touched by suffering, regardless of status, wealth, or belief, we become more compassionate. We stop seeing suffering as a personal failure and start seeing it as a universal truth. This shared vulnerability connects us and reminds us to treat one another with kindness. Ultimately, dukkha is not the end of the story, but the beginning. The Buddha's teaching continues with the cause of suffering, the possibility of liberation, and the Noble Eightfold Path, the guide to freedom. In acknowledging dukkha, we do not wallow in it. We work through it, rise above it, and discover that underneath the noise of craving and aversion lies a stillness, a peace that is not dependent on conditions. To truly understand dukkha is to look at life unflinchingly and see that suffering is not punishment or fate. It is a teacher. It points us back to ourselves and forward to liberation. The path is not easy, but it is clear, and it begins with this simple, radical truth: there is suffering.